So I saw this today on someone's story and I wanted to respond. I understand why that comparison sounds alarming, but it's built on a false equivalency. When we introduce foods one at a time, it's because food allergies are relatively common and reactions can happen quickly. Vaccines are completely different. They're extensively studied in combination prior to approval, including how multiple vaccines interact when given together. The AAP recommended childhood schedule has not been haphazardly randomized. It is based on decades of safety and immunologic research. Now on to ingredients. You'll often hear people bring up neurotoxins in vaccines, usually referring to thimerosal and aluminum. Thimerosal is a mercury-containing preservative that was used in some multi-dose vaccine vials decades ago to prevent contamination. In 2001, it was removed from routine childhood vaccines in the United States as a precaution, not because there was evidence of any harm. Even at the time, there was no credible evidence it caused autism or neurologic injury, and extensive research since then has repeatedly shown no link. It was taken out to maintain public trust and reduce overall mercury exposure from all sources, even though the type used, ethylmercury, is processed differently than the more harmful methylmercury people associate with fish contamination. I frequently see anti-vax posts referencing thimerosal, but thimerosal is not in routine pediatric vaccines. Aluminum salts are still used in some vaccines, but not as neurotoxins. They act as adjuvants, meaning they help the immune system respond effectively so that we can use smaller amounts of antigen. The amount of aluminum in vaccines is really tiny. Babies are exposed to more aluminum through breast milk formula and even water than they receive from the vaccine schedule. Dose and form matter enormously in toxicology. This post also referenced black box warnings. These are the strongest FDA labeling requirements and are used to highlight potential risks, even very rare ones, so providers and patients are informed. A warning does not at all mean that something is broadly unsafe. It means transparency about known risks, however uncommon. So if I told you that you could be hit by a car walking across the street, you might perceive that as a warning. But if you look both ways before you cross the street, you were making an informed decision. It is absolutely okay to ask questions about what's going into our children's bodies, but making fear-based comparisons can make something that is really heavily studied and monitored appear reckless, when in all reality, childhood vaccines have prevented millions of hospitalizations and deaths.